Well, you got me worried now, Harley. What you were talking about, sometimes they open those big boxes. If they open that box, they're going to find not just a rock, they're going to find fossils and some silver. And I don't know what they're going to do because it only says a rock worth $1. And and anyway, but we'll have to wait on that. But the other thing I wanted to show you and see is that I have a lot of rocks like this Brazilian, and and they say they're agates, but I don't know if these are agates or not. But they're of course they're polished and all, but they're smooth. They're smooth as glass, and uh, I don't know if you could work something like that. But if you could, it would be remarkable looking arrowhead. I mean the beauty of it alone. But you'll have to tell me on that. And and this is a backup because I know I could get these through because there wouldn't be any bump in the box. This is just a backup in case the big one the big one doesn't get to you. But now I don't know about this one. If this is too thin, it doesn't seem to have any flaws in it. And I've seen you work wonders as far as thinness goes. But how? But whether you could eliminate, chip that top away, and still have enough depth in it to do anything, I don't know. You can see in the relationship to my hand, and you can see I'll stick a ruler on these in relationship to the. I'm just dying to get a piece of your work. I think you do beautiful work, Harley, and I'm willing to go to all ends to get it. But you can see it is roughly, let's see, it is roughly uh, 1 inch in thickness, and and uh, and then of course you can see it tapers off. Uh, uh, but I think these, if you know, again, I say this is would be almost like working with glass. I don't know if agate is workable or not, but I have a lot of stuff like this. So we got a pink one. Now they somehow induce these chemicals in there, but I don't know how they do it. Aaron, I mean the colors. Some are natural. This might be natural. This is almost like a serpentine, but you'll have to tell me. You can see. Let me wet this. See, you can see. Let me put some light on that. Well, we're getting complicated now. Focus and light. Uh, but there are some fracture lines, like one, like I can see one. It appears to be. Of course, I don't know a fracture line from a dog's ass, but it appears to be something right in there. There's a fracture line, and and I guess these things here, these things that you're looking at. Well, let me set this down and see if I can set it down where you can see it. That these things here appear to be fracture lines. I'll show it there, and then I'll bring it up closer to the camera, and then you can see what I'm talking about. Maybe you can't. Maybe it'd be better to use one of my other devices here. Uh, Now, see, I don't know. I wouldn't know a fracture line, as I said, from a dog's ass, but uh, these things are so remarkable. I loved them. I bought a bunch of them as bookends, and and I really have no idea if something like this is even workable because you can see where the matrix changes, where it's a crystal here, and then it's solid agate or whatever it is there, and then there's this clear part. If I mean, well, you're the master, but holy mackerel, could you imagine a piece that could contain all that, the beauty of a piece. See, what you do, I think, is art, and what I'm looking for is and I'm more than willing to pay you to do these is a piece of art that also has the beauty in not merely the form that you give it, but in the rock itself. And that's why I was wondering if it's possible to work stuff like this. And if it is, then then there I won't say there's no end to these, but I'll say that I have enough of these to I mean, could you imagine this? This is could you? I mean, just imagine that as an arrowhead. Well, you can imagine it better than I can. But I meant just how beautiful that would be. This is such a nice shade of blue. Hmm, maybe a closer look at that will tell you if there's. See, I'm getting crap on my lens that's making this look like there's flaws in it. I better stick to the just to the just to the flashlight. But this is hardly. I got fingerprints all over now. Who cares? Uh, and I don't know. You're, as I say again, only you could tell. You could tell me more about these rocks, probably looking at them, than I can by holding them. That if these lines go through there like that, does it mean that they're going to fracture along those lines or not? And if not, wow, wouldn't that make a sterling arrowhead? But uh, I hate, I hate to take up your time just looking at this stuff, but I really, truly do want one of your works, and willing to go, to mail this or whatever. Uh, if you want to try any one of these or any two of them or whatever, because I really am I'm shitting bricks now that beautiful piece of snowflake obsidian might not make it to you, and if it doesn't make it, nor does this silver or the sample of fossils I sent you. So uh, I see. I mean, you've had a couple of recent setbacks, but you do such a nice work that I realize those things can happen. I've worked with things myself that sometimes you can you have a streak that they just don't come out perfect, and other times you just knock them out. But thank you very much for your time, and please let me know on those. And if you like the rock but don't like those, I certainly have uh, a bigger selection. And you were saying that quartz is very hard to work with, but I have some massive crystal ones that are that are every bit this size, uh, that are all crystal, and I would tend to think that crystal is going to break along the lines of the crystal and not and not not flake like you've been able to do with the obsidian and with the flint and those other rocks you work with. But I don't know if you've ever worked with agate, but this is a Brazilian Brazilian agate, and as I said, if you don't like any of those three, I certainly can put more up. Sorry for wasting so much of your time.